Have you ever wondered why some people seem to drift through life without friends, quietly navigating the world without the comfort of companionship, without shared laughter or whispered secrets? It's as tempting to think that people without friends simply don't try hard enough or are socially awkward, but the reality runs much deeper. Many individuals who find themselves without close social bonds are caught in a cycle that is both emotional and cognitive, a loop of behaviors and thoughts that reinforce isolation. Some are naturally introverted, deriving energy and fulfillment from solitary activities, but even introverts often crave connection at some level. For those who remain friendless, there are underlying psychological mechanisms at play, such as social anxiety, low self, and sometimes depressive tendencies, which can subtly sabotage attempts to form meaningful relationships. The origins of these patterns often trace back to childhood. Early experiences of neglect, emotional unavailability from caregivers, or being socially excluded by peers can instill a deep-seated belief that connection is unsafe or unattainable. Children who are bullied or constantly criticized may internalize these experiences, interpreting them as evidence that they are unworthy of friendship. Over time, these beliefs solidify into skimmers' mental frameworks that shape how they perceive social interactions. When an adult operates from these skimmers, they might avoid potential friendships out of fear of rejection, misinterpret social cues, or even unconsciously act in ways that push others away. Another critical factor is the phenomenon of social skill deficits. Some individuals have not had the opportunity to develop the nuanced abilities needed to navigate social contexts. These are not just basic communication skills, but include understanding subtle cues, managing conflict, and forming emotional reciprocity. A person who struggles with these skills may appear aloof, distant, or uninterested, even when they desperately crave connection. What makes this more complicated is that society often misreads solitude. Cultural narratives glorify extroversion, charisma, and social networks, implying that those without friends are deficient or flawed. This societal bias can exacerbate feelings of inadequacy, creating a feedback loop where the person feels isolated, which in turn strengthens the negative self-perception. Cognitive distortions also play a major role in the psychology of the friendless. People who lack friendships may engage in all-or-nothing thinking, believing that a single rejection defines their entire social worth. They may catastrophize minor social missteps, interpreting them as confirmation that they are unlovable or unworthy of attention. These thought patterns, once entrenched, can become automatic, coloring every social interaction and making attempts at connection fraught with anxiety and self-doubt. Interestingly, loneliness and solitude are not always synonymous. Some individuals are entirely content being alone, cultivating hobbies, careers, and passions without the need for companionship. However, the psychology of persistent friendlessness often involves a deeper, more painful experience, the longing for connection paired with the inability to achieve it. Neuropsychological factors may also contribute. Research has shown that differences in brain structure and function can influence social cognition, emotional regulation, and empathy. For instance, variations in the amygdala, which processes fear and social signals, or in the prefrontal cortex, which governs planning and impulse control, might make social engagement more challenging. Similarly, conditions like autism spectrum disorder, social anxiety disorder, or even certain personality disorders can contribute to difficulties in forming and maintaining friendships. Beyond individual factors, environmental influences cannot be ignored. The modern world, with its digital communication and transient social structures, can make forming deep, enduring friendships more difficult. People who relocate frequently, work long hours, or immerse themselves in solitary pursuits may simply have fewer opportunities to connect. Additionally, societal stigma around loneliness can make people hide their isolation, creating the illusion that they are well connected even when they are not. Yet, despite these challenges, it is crucial to recognize the resilience and coping mechanisms that friendless individuals often develop. Many cultivate rich inner lives, engaging deeply with creative endeavors, intellectual pursuits, or spiritual practices. Some develop hyper-awareness of human behavior, observing social dynamics with a clarity that those immersed in constant companionship might overlook. Others build alternative support networks through family, pets, online communities, or professional relationships. These mechanisms highlight an important truth. the absence of friends does not equate to the absence of meaningful social experience. Emotional coping strategies also shape the psychology of friendless people. Those without friends often learn to regulate emotions internally, finding ways to soothe anxiety, sadness, or loneliness without external support. This can lead to remarkable self-sufficiency and introspection, but it may also reinforce isolation as the individual becomes increasingly comfortable relying solely on themselves. Paradoxically, this self-reliance can both protect against social disappointment and perpetuate social withdrawal. Understanding the psychology of people without friends requires empathy and nuance. It demands moving beyond judgment and considering the intricate web of biological, psychological, and social factors that contribute to their experience. In some cases, professional intervention, such as therapy, can help individuals develop social skills, challenge maladaptive thought patterns, and gradually build connections. Cognitive behavioral approaches can be particularly effective, helping individuals recognize distortions, manage social anxiety, and practice engagement in manageable steps. Yet, friendship is not a simple formula. Genuine human connection requires vulnerability, trust, and reciprocity, all of which can feel risky or impossible to someone who has internalized a sense of social inadequacy. This is why the psychology of friendlessness is so profound. It sits at the intersection of desire and fear, capability and inhibition, societal expectation and personal history. In exploring this psychology, it is also important to consider the role of identity and self-concept. People without friends often grapple with questions of belonging and value. They may ask themselves why others do not seek their company, or whether their personality is inherently unlikable. These internal narratives can be corrosive, reinforcing feelings of alienation and feeding a cycle of social withdrawal. However, some individuals challenge these narratives, cultivating self-compassion and redefining what social fulfillment means. They may find meaning in solitary achievements, artistic expression, or intellectual mastery, demonstrating that the human need for connection is multifaceted and not confined solely to friendship. Cultural and societal context further complicates the picture. In collectivist societies, social bonds are highly valued, and those without friends may experience intense stigma or shame. In contrast, individualist societies may tolerate or even celebrate independence, yet the psychological impact of isolation can still be profound. Media portrayals often exacerbate this tension, emphasizing extroverted lifestyles and perpetuating myths about loneliness as a personal failing, rather than a complex human experience. Technology introduces another layer of complexity. Social media can provide avenues for connection, yet it can also magnify feelings of inadequacy. Observing curated images of others' social lives can reinforce the sense that one is missing out, while online interactions may lack the depth and reciprocity needed to satisfy emotional needs. This paradox highlights how modern life can simultaneously facilitate and hinder social integration. It is also essential to recognize the intersection of mental health and friendship. Depression, anxiety, and other psychological conditions can both result from and contribute to social isolation. A person struggling with depression may lack the energy or motivation to engage socially, while persistent loneliness can intensify depressive symptoms, creating a self-reinforcing cycle. Understanding this interplay is crucial for developing empathy and effective interventions. Despite the challenges, the human capacity for connection remains resilient. Many people who experience prolonged periods without friends eventually discover meaningful relationships later in life. Sometimes these connections emerge through shared interests, professional collaborations, or mutual vulnerability. The journey to friendship can be slow, fraught with setbacks, and deeply personal, but it is not impossible. In fact, understanding the psychology behind friendlessness can empower individuals to navigate social landscapes more effectively, offering insight into their own behaviors and fostering self-awareness that ultimately enhances relational potential. The study of friendless individuals also reveals broader truths about society and human nature. It challenges assumptions about happiness, fulfillment, and the metrics by which we measure social success. It underscores the importance of compassion, recognizing that isolation is often not a matter of choice but a complex outcome of life experiences, personality, and circumstance. By approaching this subject with curiosity rather than judgment, we gain insight into the resilience, creativity, and inner life of those navigating the world without traditional social support. In conclusion, the psychology of people who have no friends is a tapestry woven from early experiences, personality traits, social skills, cognitive patterns, and societal influences. It is marked by both vulnerability and strength, struggle and adaptation. While the absence of friendship can entail significant emotional challenges, it also fosters unique forms of introspection, creativity, and self-reliance. Understanding this psychology requires moving beyond stereotypes, embracing nuance, and acknowledging the profound ways in which human beings strive for connection. Even when that connection remains elusive, friendlessness is not simply a deficit. It is a complex psychological phenomenon that illuminates the interplay of individual mind, social environment, and cultural context, offering lessons about empathy, resilience, and the universal quest for belonging.